Hi, and welcome again to another Photoshop lesson. My name is CJ, better known as Y2CJ3600, and today I'm going to show you how to Photoshop a wand using the Harry Potter spell lumos. And we're going to be using both Photoshop and ImageReady. And ImageReady is within the Photoshop program. Now I'm going to be using Photoshop 6.0 because that's the version that I have. And all the newer versions are more updated, so their image-ready animation features are a little different. We're going to start off by making a new document. We're going to have it transparent, and we're going to have the resolution to 96. We're going to have the width to 990, and we're going to have the height to 720. Now, to get a Harry Potter wand or any wand, all you have to do is Google the word wand or Harry Potter wand and set the measurements for large. So you always want to work with a larger picture. And this picture I found was actually a group of wands that came in very handy. But you know, since Harry Potter is a big deal and since this is the Harry Potter spell, I decided to use the actual Harry Potter wand. When you save this picture, all you have to do is once you get it, you just have to delete all the white background space that's behind the wands. And you can use your magic wand tool in Photoshop, which is really called that, or you can use the selection tool. But if you use the magic wand tool, sometimes it can leave like fuzzy pixelated debris on the pictures. So it's normally best just to use the selection tool, but for this case you can actually use the magic wand tool and then hit delete to clear all the white space out, and use your selection tool to sharpen up the wands. When using Photoshop or the ImageReady program, I like to work in F8 safe mode with networking because it just allows me to work a whole lot faster and everything moves faster in safe mode with networking. Plus, the ImageReady program, it freezes up in normal mode and it will still freeze up in safe mode, but not as much. Okay, once you found the wand that you like, all you have to do is use your square selection tool, which is that very first button on the tray to the left, and you just select which one you want, and then use the pointer tool towards the right and just drag it on over. Now this one's a little smaller, so we're going to make it a little bit larger, and you'll have to go to Edit, Free Transform, and then just stretch it out to your preference. And we want to turn that around a little bit. Okay, to make the lighting effect for the little flashlight wand, all you have to do is make a new layer, and you do that by going to your layer window that's towards the right at the very bottom. You go to that very bottom tray and go to the far right, and where you see a trash can on the very last button, go to that button to the left of the trash can, which is two squares within each other, and that's the new layer feature. And you'll click that, go on over to your paint bucket and select white for your colors, and then just click within the screen and the whole layer just turn white. Now, we don't want to use this entire square. We want to cut a square from in the middle because it's a little bit harder to do what you need to do if there's like things hanging on the edge, and you'll find out why later. So we're just going to take our square selection tool, and we're going to cut a square within that white box, and we're going to cut and paste, and we're going to delete that extra access part of the square. Now we want to duplicate this square, and to duplicate you just click in the layer box on the picture you want to duplicate, right click, then hit duplication. Now we want to make our flashlight blue, a very light blue, because that's what color is in the Harry Potter movies. Select a light blue from your color tray. Once you select the blue that you want, you go to the left tray and you will click that blue box that's in your color palette, and now you'll see a color picker box that will come up. And with your mouse, you want to click the white area within that large blue box that's towards the left corner. So once you click that, hit OK, and click it on the first box in your layer window tray. Now with that same light blue, we're going to go back and click the box if need be, or just click in the color tray towards the right, and reselect that blue that you wanted, and then just paint the other box that's under the whitish box blue. Now we're going to mask both of these, and you'll hit the mask tool, which is on that layer tray, and the second button, and you're going to mask both of these boxes. And then once you do that, go on over to your paint bucket, make sure black is selected, and click both those boxes and make them invisible. Go to your paint brush and then select a brush that's big but not too big, and make sure it's a soft brush. So we want to use either 100 or 200, and just click within the middle of the picture where the tip of the wand is at. Now go over to your blue box, take your paintbrush, a bigger brush this time, and then click within that white square that you did, and as you can see, a blue square appeared behind it. Now we want to duplicate that blue box for now. Okay, now we're going to unselect the second blue box, and we're going to be working with the top one. Okay, now we want to have a background to show what parts are being lit up. So what you're going to do, you're going to make a folder underneath the folder that we have now, and we're going to make that folder come right before the black box that's down at the bottom. Click that black box, hit the folder feature, which is the third button, right next to the mask button, and their folder appeared. Now find whatever background you want and just drag it on over and put it in that folder. And we want to make that blue a little bit more brighter. So we're going to click the actual box within the blue, and we're going to go to Layer, New Adjustment Layers, Selection Color, click the box that has the group word in it, hit OK, and now we need to find that color, and it looks like a light blue. So just find the color that you're working with and begin messing around with the little arrows to get the brightness that you want. And you can do the same thing with the white box too, and just to get that extra color of brightness and kind of like muckiness that lights have. And once you're done messing around with the color selection, you have to merge that feature into the box. And by doing that, all you have to do is go to Layers and go to the bottom where it says Merge Down. Now you want to duplicate this blue again, just in case we mess up with something and won't have to keep going back into our history feature. Okay, once we get the depth and shading and coloring of the lights that we want, all you have to do is duplicate that circle of light, and you want to go to Selection at top, select all, hit delete so that the new duplication picture we made won't be too big, and then go to Layer and then Merge Down. The reason why we're doing this is because we want an actual light circle template and not one with a mask feature in it. If it has that mask box in it, it'll be harder to do certain things to it, like selecting, copy and paste, stuff like that. And we want to do the same thing to that white light circle. Okay, once you've made two templates of the lighting circles, go to both boxes, and you see where it says Normal in the layer tray window? What you want to do is click that box that says Normal, and you want to put the screen on both pictures because it gives it more of a shine and a lighting effect. Okay, and now we want our wand to be behind the light so that we can't see the tip of the wand, just like in the Harry Potter movies. So you're going to go on over to that folder that has the wand in it, and what you want to do is click on the wand and then drag it to the very bottom of that folder so that it comes behind it. Now, we're going to need a shining of light that illuminates the entire room. So all you have to do is duplicate one of the blue circles, drag it right behind the wand, and keep it there for a while. Okay, now with that blue circle at the very bottom, we're going to free transform that, make it a little bit bigger, not too much bigger, but it's a little bit. And then we're going to go to Edit, Free Transform, make it a little bit more bigger. And now we're going to add a blur to it. So we're going to go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And this will get a more glossy type lighting shine to it. And just take that right triangle and just move it to fit your preference. And as you can see, it's getting more brighter. Now in the Harry Potter movies, but with some of the lumos, they have like this little ring that kind of grows from the tip of the wand and just like expands, and it's in a different color. It's kind of like in a reddish purplish kind of color. And you can do that if you want. I'll show you how to do that too. Just go back to the top to one of the blue circles and duplicate that. You can drag it down, and you're going to want to change the color of it. You're going to go to Layer, New Adjustment Layers, Hue and Saturation, and you're going to go to the very top where it says Hue. And you're just going to move it either to the left or the right for whatever color you want. If you want to make it green, you can make it green. You want to make it orange, you can make it orange. This will change your color within the original color you have. I want mine to be a little bit like a purplish red. And once I got that, I'm going to merge it down. And now, I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller by free transforming it. And once I do that, I'm going to take my eraser tool, which is on the left tray, and I'm going to set the brush to about 300 or so, a soft brush, and just erase the inner part of the circle and make a ring. And then to expand that ring, you're just going to duplicate the ring and free transform it to make it expand. And then you want to duplicate it again and make it expand some more out of the page. However, as you can see, it's not letting us free transform it. And that's because the ring, when we erased part of it, it made it so clear to where it's almost empty in that layer. So what you need to do is just duplicate that and merge the two, and now you will be able to expand it however much you need to with the free transformation. And you want to take your little eraser tool, to sharpen up the little edges if need be. And if it's a little too bright, then you go to where it says normal in the layer tray, go to the right to where it says 100%, and just adjust it to the shading. Okay, once we have our white and blue circle that we need, we want to merge those two pictures together. And it just makes things a little bit easier. Now, once those two are merged, we're going to duplicate them. And we're going to change the lighting of the picture by where you see 100% at your layer tray window. You're going to click that box and just start moving the arrow to the left to start fading it. So we want to show like the little dimness first and then the bright light. Okay, now we want our room to be darker than what it is before, so that when we use our spell, it will lighten up the room. And to do that, all you need to do is make a couple of copies of the background by duplicating it. Now, leave one box completely lit up and unclick that box. And to make it darker, click one box and just click the filter window, go to render, and go to lighting effect. When a box pops up, it's going to have the picture that we have darker with a yellow light in it. To get rid of that yellow light, because you want to get rid of it, go to the right where it says Spotlight and Light Type, and click that box that says On, then hit OK. And as you can see, now our picture is darker. Now once we have a dark picture, all you have to do is make a copy of that dark picture by duplicating it, which is right-clicking that picture, then hit Duplicate, and go back to your filter. And as you can see at the very top, the lighting effect is selected at the top because it's now a template. And with that duplication picture, you just want to hit that lighting effect again, make it a little bit more darker. Then duplicate that picture one more time, following the same steps in the filter and lighting effect, and make it really dark to where it's practically pitch black. So now when we set our lumos spell, we can either go from completely darkness to a very bright room, or if you want half the room to be dark and just part of it to be lit, this is what you can do. Go back down to one of your dark pictures that you can still see everything within. It's just a little dim. Duplicate that picture, drag it to where your bright picture is at, duplicate that bright picture, unselect one of them, mask that, go to your paint bucket, select black, and click within the picture to make it go invisible. Now take your large paintbrush tool, a soft brush, which is for me 300, and then select white and just begin coloring in within the middle of that picture, in the middle only, and leave the edges around it completely dark. And that will show that the wand is only lighting up some of the room and not all of it. Then once you got that ready, now once that is done, all you have to do is merge two pictures together, going to layers and merge down. Okay, now we're almost done. Now all we need is a hand holding the wand. First we need to drag our wand and our lighting effects up a little bit. And to do that, you go to the very top picture within that folder, and you'll click the actual folder of it and not a picture. And once you click that folder, you just drag it up with your pointer tool within the picture box, and you see it will drag everything within that folder. Take a picture of your hand and pretend like you're holding something. Then once you do that, all you have to do is use your selection tool and cut around your hand, copy paste, like I did. And then you're going to adjust your hand to fit the size of the wand with your free transformation. You're going to mask the wand, and you don't have to mask the entire thing with a paint bucket. All you can do is just use your paintbrush and erase the handle. Go in with and erase the handle. You want to erase a good chunk of it, so you're going to want a bigger brush and a soft brush. Then with a harder brush, you want to take that so it can be nice and crisp, and just paint within the area on which you will be holding it. And once that's done, you're going to click the wand tool if it's not clicked already, go to layers and merge down so that your hand can actually be holding it. Go back up to the top where the actual folder is for that picture and the rest within the folder, and then just drag it on down, because in our animation video we're going to show that he's actually walking into the room and then light it up. Okay, and once you have all your pictures lined up where you need them to, now it's time to animate the picture. Okay, to animate, first you have to save your picture in a PSD, which is a Photoshop file. Once that is saved, you're going to go on over to your tool window, at the very bottom where that large button is, and you're going to click that. Once you do that, then your image ready program will start to load. Okay, once it loads, your windows on the right might look a little different than mine, mainly because mine is preset, and also I'm using a very old version. You might have something to where you have your layer box window within your history box window, and it's all in that same little box window. All you have to do is click your layer tab and drag it to the bottom and just adjust it. Now when I'm working in animation, I like to have my layer window at the very top, because I normally have a lot of picture layers to work with and I can't see them all, and I don't want to work with a tiny little box scrolling up and down. Pretty much your history and your layer button and your animation window at the bottom, the only thing you're going to be using here. Your animation window is that window underneath your actual template window. That little triangle that's pointing to the right, if you ever click that, you can use that to select all your picture frames that you will be having. And these are picture frames, by the way. To make another frame layer, you just have to hit that little button that's at the very bottom. That's the only one that's lit up, and it's a square on top of a square. To change the time of the frames, you go to where it says want in that little drop box. You click that, and it has some selections for you, or you can add your own time frame to there. And once you click that little wants box, you can go to other and then type in your time frame. For really fast seconds, you want to press 0, dot, and then number. For longer seconds, like 1 second or 3 seconds or 5 seconds, you'll press that number first, then a dot, and then a 0. And on your first frame that's set to number 1, you always want a time frame on that. Never put no delay, because for me that never worked and my pictures never came out. Okay, you want to start with your first frame being the actual room, pitch black. And you want to set the time for maybe 1 full second, which is 1.0. Make a new frame, and I like to work in 0.2 seconds normally. Sometimes I like to speed up, and you can change it for your preference. And with our next frame, we're going to activate that folder with our wand and light features in it, and you see the little teeny tiny wand poking at the bottom. Now you're going to make another frame, and you're going to drag that entire folder, not the actual wand picture, but the actual folder, and just drag it up, and drag up a few like centimeters. And you're going to want to repeat that process, so just keep making more frames and dragging that entire folder up more to show that he's actually walking into the room. Once you get it in a position that you want, what you want to do then is begin adding your light features. And before you do that, you might want to play it first to see if everything looks right. And the play button is that little play indicator button at the very bottom. That's a single triangle, and it'll play the entire video for you. And then you can adjust it to however you need to make it look better. Now, once we got in the position we want, let's start adding our light features. Okay, now as we're making more frames, now we're adding our light features. And as we can see, that one of the bigger lights in the background is a bit of a square. And that happened when we merged down in our picture before. All you have to do is just take your eraser tool, get a soft brush, largest brush, and just start erasing that line and make it curve to where it looks like a circle. Now, animating this, we want to start off with our dim light first, then we're going to get to one of our bright lights, and then we're going to get to the actual background light. And now we're going to begin adding in our actual background. We're going to start when his light first comes on, and we're going to use then we're going to change one of the backgrounds to where it's dim so you can start seeing stuff. And in the newer frames, just keep adding in the newer layer backgrounds until you get to your bright one. And then we're going to make some more frames, and with that one light selected, we're going to add another light to show it pulsating. And this is what it would look like if you use the entire background lit up. And this is what it would look like with the other background that's half dark and half lit up. Now if you want, you can add that little pulsating ring that we made that was kind of reddish purplish. Now if you need to select half of your frames, then what you can do is select that very first frame that you want and click on that, hold down the shift button, and whatever frame groups that you need, like say you need the very last one, you go all the way to the last one, and then you'll click that one and it'll select all of those. Or let's say you just need 3 of the frames. So what you would do is you will hold down the control button and just start clicking which frames you need, and it will click those individual frames. Now once you get a pulsating lighting effect that you want to duplicate those frames over and over and see how it looks when you press play. Okay, once you get the actual picture that you want after pressing play and reviewing everything, you go over to File, Save, Optimize As, not Save Optimize, but go to one that says Save Optimize As, and save it within a GIF picture, or a GIF. And that's how you actually make a GIF picture, by the way. Okay, here comes the animation part. Now, to work in this, you're going to need Windows Movie Maker or iMovie. I use a Windows computer, so I'm going to use a Windows Movie Maker. And to open that program, you have to go into regular mode. So let's restart the computer and put it in regular mode. Pull up the program. Going to save the video. Go to Save Project As, because you need to save everything all the time, because this program has a lot of bugs in it and it will freeze up constantly. Now we're going to import all the stuff that we need. We need the picture, the audio, and you go to File, Import As, look for where you saved it at, and import your GIF picture you made and whatever audio you need. Okay, once that's in your collection thing, you're gonna either drag your picture to where it says video, or you can just go to clip and add the timeline. Now for some reason my video capture screen thing won't show the picture in the actual Windows Movie Maker. So anyway, you just add the picture to the timeline where it says video. And if you want to, you can say the word lumos like I did in my video and record yourself using a recording program, and then put that where it says audio where you need it to. And if you need to cut your picture or video or audio, there is a feature that's towards the right of the screen where the play and pause and stop buttons are. It's the very, very far right, and it looks like two cars driving on the side of the road, and there's a little dotted line in the middle. So there's a square, a dotted line that goes down, and another square, left and right. And you click that button and it will split or pretty much cut your video, audio, or picture. And once you download everything, you go to File, Save Movie File, click Next, name it whatever you need to name it, and where it says Other Setting, go to High Quality Video Large. That's normally what I do things in. And then hit Save, and it's your final project. Lumos.